When we're at the gym and we're doing weights, we've always been told that we need to work to failure. So that means if we're pushing a weight and we're trying to get it up and we can't get it up anymore, that means we're at failure. And in a gym, that is seen as being successful in building our strength, building our metabolism, and getting stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JTInTheRaw, show 146, coming to you live from Lane Cove here in Sydney. Got the sun in my eyes, buses and trucks all around me, and today I want to talk to you about having a culture in your department and in your business around failure. We'll talk about that in greater depth, but I want us to really focus on that today, because if we want to innovate, if we want to get better, then in a business, we must embrace mistakes. We must embrace failure. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Pierre. Great having Pete Crawford on early this morning as well. So many great people joining us, which is fantastic. JTInTheRaw, show 146, same bat time, same bat place every single week. Well, actually not same bat place as in Facebook Live, but I'm in different places generally. Morning, Rachel. Great having you on board this morning as well. So I got a couple of shout outs this morning. Big shout out to Patrick. Patrick comes from Lebanon, and this week has confirmed that I am going to be heading to Lebanon to do 5 presentations, including the keynote for his conference in Beirut in August. I am pretty damn excited about heading to Beirut. Never been there. People tell me Lebanon is a beautiful country. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Can't wait to get there. Morning, Mark. Good morning, Alicia. And good morning, Emma Barry, wherever in the world you are, Emma Barry. So big shout out there to Patrick for inviting me to come and speak at his conference. Macy Brown, good morning. Great having you on board. Another big shout out to Tim. I won't divulge his surname, but Tim became a new client this week. Went out and had a look at his gym and spent some time talking to him. And he was actually the person that stimulated me to have the discussion with you today. As we were talking about team development and at what point do you step in to save your team from failure, what point do you do that? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Pierre, good morning. Also, great shout out this morning. Want to give a big shout out to Julio, Jason and Sadana, who have all committed to being sponsors of the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. If you are in the fitness industry and you are not coming to the Fitness Industry Technology Summit, shame on you. It is on the 25th and 26th of July. I look forward to seeing as many people from the industry as we can get there. There's only 150 tickets and we sold a dozen this week, so I'm pretty happy about that. Good morning, Brad. Mate, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come to the Technology Summit, put FITS, F-I-T-S, in the comments below. I'll send you the link and you can grab a registration. I'll also send you how to save $100 on registration. FITS in the comments below. Whether you're watching live or on replay, I'll give you the link. Save $100. Get along to this event. Also, big shout out everybody who watched last week's show. Tommy Hart, good morning over there at Huddle over there in New Zealand, Christchurch. Good to have you on board, mate. Thanks a lot for the feedback on last week's show where we talked about communication. And then what we needed to do as leaders is adjust our communication in order to match our team members or our customers. So I really appreciate the feedback. If you missed show 145, put 145 in the comments below and I'll send you the link to that show. We do a free giveaway on that show as well. So you want to get it. If you haven't watched it, 145, I'll send you the link and you can get that free giveaway. That is the key this morning. Jamie Hayes, good morning. So let's talk about this whole concept around making mistakes in our business. And I guess the if I had to pick a king of this or a queen of this, it's got to be Sir Richard Branson, who founded obviously the Virgin Group that we all know about, and he was one of the first industry leaders or business leaders to take an unconventional approach to leading his business, because he encouraged and even celebrates failure. Because you see, if people are failing, then they're finding a better way to do something. Branson says, let me quote you on this. This is what Branson actually says. We've never been 100% sure that any of the businesses we've started at Virgin were going to be successful. But for over 45 years, we've always stood by our motto, screw it, let's do it. Now the reality is, no one on the planet can come up with the best way of doing something correctly the first time. I don't think there is. If you think there is, put their name in the comments below. But in all reality, is there anyone on the planet that can do the premium, the best, the optimal, the whatever insert verb you want, adjective, the best idea or solution the first time? I don't think there is. And so what we look at through the history of business, the history of sport, the history of team development are thousands and thousands and thousands of stories of failure. Failures, though, en route to success. So if you want a more efficient way of doing things, if you want innovation, if you want to leap ahead of your competitors, good morning, Luke, Scott, Leanne, great having you guys on board. If you want to leap ahead of your competitors, then as a leader, you need to set the environment in your department and in your business around allowing people to try and to fail. The culture that you want to create in your business is that people are not embarrassed by failure. Rather, they learn from failure and they start again. Making mistakes is part of life. Making mistakes is part of our business. And experiencing setbacks is just part of day-to-day development. The key, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that we must learn from the mistakes and not repeat them. So when I had my business, here's what I used to say. Making a mistake is okay, because that's what we learn from. Making the same mistake a second time, well, that's just stupid. Making the same mistake a third time, send in your uniform. That was ours. But in your business, what is your response to people making a mistake? I know lots of leaders jump on anyone that makes a mistake, that makes an error. But the reality is, if they are going to grow, we've got to allow that. We've got to allow that mistake to be made in order for them to learn. Don't we do this with kids? Don't we do this with kids? Really, regardless of what age our child is, we want to protect our child from making mistakes. We want to protect our child from getting themselves into a situation where they will make mistakes. But where there's no harm, when they make a mistake, often they learn. They put their hand on the hot plate, they go, whoa, that's hot, I'm never touching that again, and they learn. So in business, in order for us to innovate, whether we're talking big business or a department, in order for us to innovate, we must embrace mistakes. We must embrace mistakes. We must embrace failure in order to lead to success. You see, when a business or people make mistakes, our job as the leader is to lighten the mood, is not to shine a torch on them and make them feel embarrassed, not to degrade them publicly, but rather lighten the mood. Perhaps we could share personal stories where we as a leader has made mistakes, where we have made a mistake and learned from it. Maybe that is the way to embrace errors and mistakes in our business. Your personal stories as a leader will let your tribe, let your community, let your team know that you are human and you are imperfect, just like the rest of them. You see, I think that this is one of the keys around leading a business. It's about leading by example. It's about us as leaders making mistakes. It's about us trying things and them not working out. And what we need to do is we need to embrace that, and then that will filter through our team. That is the challenge that I want to give you guys moving forward from today. If you're watching JTInTheRaw show 146 and you love this concept of a challenge, live or on replay, give me a love heart right now. A love heart around embracing mistakes, embracing failure in order to grow. We're not embracing failure for the sake of it. We're embracing failure. We're embracing mistakes in order to get better. In order to get better. In order to try something to get better. And then as a leader, by sharing our mistakes, sharing the lessons we've learned with our team, your team will no longer fear or hide from their mistakes. Often in business, what I hear a lot of is that team members are so scared, so petrified, so terrified that if they make a mistake, the boss will come down on them like a ton of bricks. So if they do make a mistake, they in fact hide that mistake. They hide it. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Carol. Great having you guys on board this morning. That they hide that mistake. And if it's hidden, we never find, we don't know. How do we help them? How do we help them? I really believe, whether we're talking about raising kids, a sporting team, a department, or an entire business, embracing those errors, embracing those mistakes so that we learn from them and then develop is critical to innovation. It's critical to finding ways to doing things better. What are you going to do this week? What are you going to do in the next 7 days to change or enhance the culture that you have in your business around people making mistakes, around errors, around failing? What are you going to do? Put it in the comments below. Love to know whether you're watching live or on replay. If you're watching live, maybe you want to come back and do this again later. But I want to know, what are you going to do with your team to embrace them and encourage them to have a crack at things, even at the risk of making a mistake? Let me tell you this. When you're explaining to your team that you've made mistakes, storytelling is a very authentic way. It shows how human you are and lets the tribe know, lets your community know, lets your team know that you have indeed been in their shoes. And it helps them emotionally connect with what you're going through as a leader. So let's analyze a couple of these things before we finish up. Number one is, if we want to find a better way of doing things, we've got to allow mistakes to occur. We've got to allow failure in order to find the successful route. As a leader in our business, we have to encourage that. We have to encourage our team to accept failure in order to grow, in order to get better. Good morning, Andrew, down there in Victoria. Great having you on board this morning. We have to embrace that. So we have to develop a culture where people feel comfortable having a crack at things, knowing full well it may or may not work, but not getting in trouble for that. And then number three is, as a leader, what are we doing to encourage that culture? And the challenge that I want to give you is, when people do make a mistake, is that you tell a story to make you sound an authentic human being, to make you sound like you've been in their shoes, and that they will connect emotionally with you and emotionally with that story and understand what you're trying to create. If you like the idea of that little summary, that little challenge, then I want to hear from you right now. I want you to give me a love heart right now, so I'm hearing from you going, yep, that is something we can definitely do. That is something that we have the ability to do in our business or in our department. Want to hear it? Give me a love heart. Watching live or on replay, let's hear from you. All right, what's happening? What's happening for me? What is happening for me in the next week? Well, next week, In our business, mistakes that cost dollars are viewed as the education fund. I love it, Alicia. That is awesome. In our business, mistakes that cost money are viewed as the education fund. That is gold. Oh, I wish I'd thought of that. That would have been my quote of the week. Beautiful. Love how that company embraces mistakes. That is pure gold. In our business, mistakes that cost money are viewed as the education fund. Give me a love heart if you love that from Alicia. Thank you. What's happening next week for me? I am heading to Canberra at the end of the week. I'm going to head down there Wednesday. Going to hit up a couple of clubs down there for a workout Wednesday afternoon. And Thursday and Friday, I'm working with some Anytime Fitness clubs down there. We're going to be working with their team on the Thursday and all the owners on the Friday. Actually, I'm hoping to reverse that, but I'll be working with them, talking around leadership, development, and we're going to be talking about experiences and looking after people. Oh, thanks, Jamie, for replying to Alicia. Awesome. So that's what I'm up to, which means next Friday, JTInTheRaw will be coming to you live from Gunborough. Who will be the Prime Minister? For those in Australia, of course, we go off to the polls tomorrow, and we may well have a new Prime Minister in Canberra next Friday when I'm down there. So that's what I'm up to next week. In between time, got a bit more planning around the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. Remember, a big shout out this morning to our new sponsors. And if you are in the fitness industry and you don't know what the Fitness Industry Technology Summit is, put FITS in the comments below. I will send you a link so that you can find out exactly what the Fitness Industry Technology Summit is. Also, I shared earlier today that show 145, talking about communication skill set, has gone off, had great response to that. So if you missed show 145, put 145 in the comments below. I'll send you a link to watch that show. There is a free download as well that I talk about in that show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm off now to work with a whole bunch of people from a range of different businesses, from studios to franchise clubs. Can't wait to work with them. Again, there's some Anytime clubs, Orange Theory clubs that I'm going to be working with today. So really pumped to work with them over the next few hours. Can't wait. Ben Dullahunty, I'm around the corner from you this morning, mate. I am in Lane Cove. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the way I love to finish every show is quote of the week. Quote of the week, it is my favourite bit. If it's your favourite bit, give me a love heart right now. I think you will enjoy this one. Embrace the boo-boo. It will lead to innovation and getting better. Embrace the boo-boo. It will lead to innovation and getting better. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching JTInTheRaw show 146, and one more time, is the quote of the week. Embrace the boo-boo. It will lead to innovation and getting better. If you know anybody who needs to innovate, who needs to get better, but is scared of making a mistake, tag them in the comments below. They can watch the show and they can get a few insights about embracing errors, embracing mistakes, embracing failure in their business in order to get better. Thanks a lot for tuning in to JTInTheRaw show 146. I'll catch you on the flip side.